think that South Asian culture generally, people do not talk about therapy. People do not go to therapy. I can't think of anybody of my parents' generation who has ever seen a therapist. I know that when I started going to therapy, my parents were really upset about it. And I don't really share that aspect of my life with them, even though I talk to them about almost everything else. So I think it's a very taboo topic, and I think my experience is that Indian people don't believe in it. It isn't done. But I think it's important.
That it's okay to sometimes feel down or alone, and that you have to figure out a way to build a support system. I feel like that's part of the struggle and learning experience that Nikhil has throughout the entire season, that he's not alone, and even when he is, that's okay. So I'd love to have our audience feel the same way by the end of the season.
You are lost and you have nowhere to go, and it feels like you're drowning, and sometimes you have to sit in it. And I think Insomnia takes a slice of that. Insomnia doesn't try to be neat, because these people are neat and we are neat, and that's a beautiful thing.
I know my own family and myself have struggled with mental health and depression and death in the family, and all of those things attribute to not a great mental well-being. And so I wanted to talk about that, and I wanted to talk about how it affects everybody, you know, whether they like to talk about it or not, all ages, all shapes, all sizes, and I wanted to talk about it in a really frank, honest way, particularly from, you know, a culture that is not often open to that.
It's very rare that people ask for help with things that can be seen as abnormal or can be seen as deviating from what is expected of you, whether that be queerness or whether that be mental illness. There's a deep, deep stigma that lies underneath the culture. And so we don't ask for help, because when we hear stories about other people with mental illness, either A, we don't hear those stories, or B, they're looked down upon, looked as though they are weak, or as though they are not normal, as though they need to just pull it together and do what is expected of them. And I mean, the truth of the matter is that it's situations like that that can breed a mental illness. There are situations like that can be detrimental to people who are suffering, who need help, and we need to be able to take apart that stigma, one piece at a time. And you know, whether Insomnia does that as a whole right away, who knows, but it's definitely doing its part in showcasing the fact that it exists, and we can talk about it, and we can in turn help the people that need help.